bird on a tree.
Hey, it's future me, about a week and a half after I recorded the interview there, and I noticed that the audio for some reason did not work. I was recording it on my phone with holding the mic, as you can see in the interview, and you know what's funny is that I was doing that to get better audio, but it turned out to not work, and so now I got really, really bad audio instead of if I would just kept the mic on the camera. And so it's pretty funny, right? Yeah, no, well... sorry, I just wanted to apologize about that. Back to the video. Here it is. Well, I am here with my dad, Mr. Troy Clayson. He did not name me after himself, so I'm not a junior. I'm David Clayson. But I just wanted to sit down and just kind of do a little interview with you and kind of check out your life a little bit, and because your life had an influence on my life. Of course, you know, growing up and even going into ministry, and so just kind of going into how you were influenced when you were younger. So my first question is, when you were growing up, did you serve the Lord?
No.
Okay, did your parents bring you to church, or what was?
No, not really.
So when did you come to the Lord?
Well, I went. My friend Randy, his parents brought me to church
Oh, really?
quite a bit and stuff. Yeah. So that's probably when I first started going to church. You know, more often and stuff.
Okay.
But I didn't become a Christian. I didn't give my life to Jesus until a little bit after you were born,
Okay.
when I actually gave my life to God. But when I was in the military, as I was progressing, one time I read through the Bible, did the year thing, but I was still in the world during that time too. And then, met your mom, and we got married, and then we started going to church together, but we still hadn't given our lives to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a progression for us.
So why did you guys feel the need to go to church then if you weren't serving the Lord?
Good question.
Yeah. So what caused?
I mean, just, because we want to be good, I guess,
Okay.
would be the answer.
So what was the change then? What caused you to make that step to dedicating your life to the Lord?
Well, it's just, during the whole time I was moving closer and closer to God, I don't know, I feel like when I was younger too, he was looking out for me, so to speak, because I would do stupid stuff and nothing would happen, and just, stuff that things should have happened, but, he was watching out for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because he knew what was going on.
Yeah. So you've been serving the Lord then for about 27 years now then, huh?
Yeah.
Is that true? It was right after I was born?
Yeah.
Okay. So how did that affect the way that you raised both me and Becky, my sister? If you hadn't come to the Lord, how would have life looked different for us or our household?
Well, there is a difference, because you make different decisions,
Mm-hmm.
how you're going to raise your children, what you want for your children, when they, as they grow up and everything.
Yeah.
Spending nights, when you're crying over your children, but, for concern for them and for what you want for them, praying for their future spouses, and, so instead of just letting things go.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I was around 12 years old or so, and Pastor Dan had that altar call where he was calling for those that felt like they're supposed to go into ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up there, I think along with a couple others from our church, and later on, I think I communicated to you guys that I felt the call to being a pastor. And when you first heard about that, what was your reaction? What'd you feel? What did you think when you heard that I felt the call to be a pastor?
Well, because I remember Pastor Dan always saying, that you were going to be a pastor,
Mm-hmm.
but it was something that I wanted you to felt called for, you know, not just following his lead, you know.
So was that something, were you hearing him say that, or did he say that before I went up for that calling, or like when I started telling you I felt called to the pastor, or?
Well, I think he had mentioned it before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, I didn't know that. Huh. And so we go forward, fast forward a little bit. I do like a job shadowing thing in Spokane with Pastor Dan, where a lot of stuff happened. We broke the mirror on his truck and everything like that, and an RV that got smoking, and everything there. And then, you know, high school, we go to college, and we're looking at college. I know it was a little bit of a struggle figuring out where I was going to go. I know it was almost to last month, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was getting pretty late. Yeah.
And we were thinking, well, maybe you're gonna have to maybe pause for a little bit, or go to a couple other places.
We're talking about, what was it, Kirkland?
Yeah, we're talking about Kirkland.
Yeah.
I think Trinity got announced in there a little bit. But what?
Oh, Dan Johnson, yeah.
Yeah, he came to the church.
Yeah.
But what was there any like concern about that in there, or did you feel maybe like you didn't? Because I know you wanted to support me in every way possible,
Yeah.
but like, feel any hindrance or something there? Like maybe, okay, maybe you're not supposed to go this path to become a pastor, but maybe you're supposed to, these things aren't working out?
No, I did want to be, you know, financially, you know, so it didn't make a burden that way on me,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Okay. So what, and I appreciate that, because that's, I know there's a lot of people around the nation that graduate from ministry school, and then they're in debt for a lot of times of their ministry, because
Yeah.
you know, ministry is not really exactly a high-paying job there. A lot of times you might be volunteering for your spot, and you'd be doing another job on the side just to meet living expenses. So I appreciate that, because just with that blessing there, we were able to pay off our student loans and stuff pretty quick. But you helped co-sign and allowed me to get those student loans and go to school. And so I gotta thank you for that. But now, so I've been in ministry, full-time ministry anyways, for about 4 years now. And I know you probably, if we were living a little bit closer together, you'd probably like to see me speak more, I'm assuming, just because, you know, you're my parent and that's something there. But what are your feelings now? Like after all this, I know there's still stuff that we haven't experienced yet that will come our way, but out of what we've experienced so far, like if a parent was watching this and their kid felt called into the ministry, what would be some suggestions that you would give them on how to raise a kid or how to influence them?
Well, I think the biggest thing is not to pressure them into something, you know. If you'd have chosen a different route, that'd have been fine with me too, you know. You know, I'm proud that you're in the ministry. It's something, you know, it's something that I think it's an answer to prayer, you know. You know, but but you know, I think, you know, just to encourage them to, you know, if they got an idea what they want to do, just to encourage them in that, you know. So, you know, and like I said before, I didn't want to encourage you to be a pastor if it wasn't really your call.
Okay. Well, I think. Is there anything else? Any final comments or anything like that you might have for just kind of that same category of parents whose kids maybe they just heard the other day that their kids are being feel the call in the ministry, whether maybe like missions or pastoring or whatever?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is not to discourage them either. You know, because so many times, you know, I mean, it's. I want to say it's obvious that parents are gonna, you know, they worry about their kids. You know, they want good for their kids. So, you know, but don't discourage it. It's a good thing for your kids to go into ministry. So.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's my dad. I know he's been supporting me in prayer ever since he's come to the Lord there, which was shortly after I was born, and I know that's helped me through a lot. growing up there and stuff, we've gone through stuff ourselves, and I think we've both grown together, but also as individuals as well, just because of the paths we're going down. And so, I just thank you again for taking care of me.
You're welcome.
I don't know if I guess you did have a choice. There's a lot of people who don't make that choice, but I thank you for choosing to raise me, take care of me, and Becky too, and stuff. Just that spiritual guidance that you got. I always remember waking up for school or something, and he'd be up already at like 5 o'clock or something in the morning. He'd be upstairs, just have the worship music on and praying, reading the Bible and stuff. And I'd come up to that, and so that was just the example being set there. I really appreciate that too. So, but with that, guys, if you have any questions like that or anything, I'm sure he's going to read the comments in the videos. If you have kids that are wanting to go into the ministry, he might be able to answer them. So ask him in the comments, and then I'll make sure he looks at them if you do ask any and answers them. But thank you guys for watching. Have a blessed day and keep looking to God. Thank you.